this situation. So the right click from the ET isn't going to be too much of a factor this game.
And we've seen Whitemon have some really high class games on this Enchantress as well. Always just being a nuisance, incredibly strong laner, and the information that you're able to get with this Enchantress group as well. You know, we see him just block up camps, the Ancients, you know, scouting the back, and there's all the work that we can see actually come out from the Enchantress here. And looking towards some of these bans, still the Sven getting some priority at the moment in the games we've been seeing so far.
Damn, I was about to say I really wanted Execration to pick the Drow in this lineup because, like I mentioned before, if the Mars gets that upgraded Bulwark, you've got to deal with that and the arena. So Drow's able to just sit back and, you know, just launch away her arrows. You've also got the ET, which is a decent laning partner. You know, he wants to try and get somewhat aggressive. But I think one of the big sleeper shards upgrades is the Drow one, the one that gives hypothermia, because if you build an Ag Scepter on Drow as well, all of those targets that it splits into get the hypothermia as well, and multi-shot gives hypothermia as well, because technically it's using the frost arrows. So everything's being hit, everyone's getting stacked up to like 7 stacks, and if one of them dies, it's like this big chain reaction of everything exploding for, I think it's 420 damage. So not going to happen this time around, but hopefully it will before the end of the tournament.
Yeah, we've still got, you know, a lot of games here to be able to see the development in this new banner and see some awesome new shards as well. We got a couple in that last series. You know, the PA only for one fight with the Fan of Knives, unfortunately. Would have been nice to see a couple more. We even saw that Ogre one for a little bit, the Shadow Demon, but
I think he was nearly... He underestimated the actual cooldown time on the Fan of Knives. It's 20 seconds. So he used it as soon as he got it in the base. And by the time that teamfight was happening in their tri-camp, it had only just come up. Maybe that was why it took him so long to try and, you know, come up and join the fight. It could have been that he was just searching for the supports as well, but yeah, never know.
Well, unfortunately, yeah, PA wasn't enough in that one, and we're not going to see it in this game though. So a couple of the heroes that have been getting picked up now, taken away. I'm excited to see how Lifestealer fares. You know, it is banned out, but once he does get picked up with that kind of change, taking rid of the open wounds and the new ability for him to be able to utilize as well. But well, this is a hero that, you know, we were speaking about it off stream here. Just the factor of the Tidehunter shard with 15 as that 15 talent. The tier 1 towers literally just
do not damage you.
And honestly, the tier 2s, you know, would do minor amount of damage as well. A little bit more than tier 1, of course, but, you know, Tide, I'm excited for when we see a Tide carry come back out. You know, probably not going to happen this game, but very excited for that potential for it to have a style of play.
Yeah, so for everyone at home that's watching and thinking, what the hell are these guys talking about? We're talking about with the Tide shard. So it's a new little addition to him. I will read it out to you. Anchor smash damage increased by 90 and causes it to affect buildings and reduces the cooldown by 1 second. And you might be like, oh, cool. You know, you can more easily damage towers. It's an extra 90 damage. You can farm a little bit easier. The damage reduction from the Anchor Smash also hits onto towers. So not only, you're probably going to be level 15 by the time you get it. So you would assume you're going to get the extra 20% Anchor Smash damage reduction. That brings it up to 80%. So tier 1 towers, just as an example, do 90 damage. You take away 80% of that damage, it's doing minus 72. So you're doing 18 damage. Then you've got the Kraken Shell blocking the damage as well. So you're regenning more than the tower is able to do to you. It is crazy if you're able to get it to work. It's just one of these weird situations of when do you fit it into your item build? Because there are a lot of important things that a Tidehunter needs before that. You know, you need things like the Greaves, which just had the Buckler added on as another component that it needs to be completed. Or you need a Vlad's, or, you know, a Medallion got a little bit of a buff recently. Things like that. You just need to think of making those decisions. And if it is Cuckoo playing it, wouldn't surprise me to see if he went really ambitious and tried to get it pretty early on.
Radiant team ban.
Ooh, the Spectre.
Okay. Well, we see Execration still go back for the Mars Phoenix. Still that combo there. Beautiful way to be able to protect the Supernova. But I like this Ricky getting picked up. Now, we don't really see Ricky too much. It is a new patch. We'll see how that's going to change. You know, we did get some changes to that hero as well.
The sleep dart.
Which is cool. The tricks of the trade, Aghanims as well. Scepter, you have, you can hit 2 units now instead of 1. And you can also just use a smoke screen in general in the tricks of the trade, which I think is just a nice little improvement for the hero. Just a value of life buff there. But it's a great way to deal with the Mars. You get out of arena. You've got 2 ways to get out of arena with the blink and the tricks of the trade, and you're always backstabbing him. So you don't really care about the bulwark at all.
Yeah. Man, that dart's going to be really good against the Phoenix if he's able to pick it up, right? Like, a good way to interrupt the sun ray. It's got decent range. You're probably going to have the blink strike increased cast range by that point. I just love how Ricky looks on this draft screen as well. It's like Tidehunter's saying, "Don't talk to me on my son ever again." You know, he's just standing there behind Daddy Tide, behind his big fish. The fish is bigger than Ricky. Anyway, Phoenix, another one of those heroes that really likes the shard too. It's all you need really is the Tranquils, a magic wand, maybe an urn if you're feeling really frisky about things. But then you can go straight into that shard, which means that your fiery spirits, they just replenish every 7 seconds. So you're essentially always going to have fiery spirits available just to farm. It takes 2 fiery spirits to take out a creep wave, but also you're never going to be in a situation where you're completely useless in a team fight, because what Spectre drafts want, and what Phoenix drafts wants as well, actually, is just longer team fights. So the fact that you've got this replenishing resource is going to be really impactful if you're able to get to that point.
We see now this pick for Execration trying to go for the mid hero. Although they banned the Doom, the Timber as well. I guess just some of these lost.
They wanted to get rid of the break on the Doom. You know, very good against the Spectre. Even more so than it used to be.
So what's available here now for Execration? I mean, they've got a lot of team fight, probably needing a hero that's not going to be as reliant on cooldowns. They shove at the lanes okay. They're going to go Invoker. So doubling down. I mean, you've got a way to be able to make plays. Now that Spirit Vessel is going to be super nice versus the Tide. Can make plays early with the Quas Wex. Scales into the late game, depending on if he goes for the Midas. And I'm all down for an Invoker.
Even like if you get a good arena off, Cataclysm is still pretty damn good. Like they nerfed it a little bit with the cooldown being a bit longer, and you're probably going to be going Quas Wex, so it's going to be happening a little bit later. But it does give you that good scalability into the late game. It's not just all about the Spectre, which is going to be really nice for Execration. And this is just hard aggression though from T1. Let's see what they rounded out with. It's a Void Spirit again, so something that's going to look to get super active really early on. And it is the Cuckoo Tide.
Okay, well, they don't have... It's a very difficult way to be able to deal with the Void Spirit, to say the least. I mean, Invoker is going to give you a little bit... It is nice, the Tornado aspect, to be able to get rid of the Resonant Pulse. So that's one factor heading into it. The EMP could be pretty nice as this one continues on. You know, the Mana Pool from the Tide, the Enchantress, you know, the Ricky as well. But... Are you worried that Execration might be too reliant on their cooldowns?
Not really. I feel like Spectre's probably the only one that you really need to be super concerned about that with. I think their concern is just making it out of the laning stage, because this is a really aggressive, really strong laning lineup that they've got for T1, whereas it's a lot more passive on Execration's side. We'll see. It's a 4 Phoenix as well, by the way, not paired together with the Spectre.
Well, yeah, they're gonna get at least a nice laning stage here with that ET to kind of give Spectre a decent time, and we'll see how he can continue on for there. But T1 are just gonna run them down. Like you know, Jackie getting that diffuser blade timing, if he's able to have a pretty good one at that. You know, Carl more than likely with an early Yule Scepter can even go that early Ags if he really wants to as well. But yours will give you a lot more opportunities with how you're able to play. And yeah, T1 literally just gonna look to try and put the pedal to the metal and not really give Execration too much opportunities to be able to find the farm in the jungle, then really come into the late game. The one thing I do like at least about the Tide Hunter is that you're not always a hero that relies on a blink to initiating fights. You can just wait for Execration to heavily commit, chuck out that Ravage, and then go from there. Because if you're the only one that initiates on your team, then blink is definitely a big factor. But your Spectre haunting in on top of you, you're still going to be in the middle of the fight more likely with how you're positioned. So at least that can be somewhat of a nice thing here for at least the side of Team 1 as these team fights go on. But that's really their only big team fight ultimate.
Yeah, that is true. Well, if there's anything my man Faker likes from T1 Entertainment and Sports, it is a lot of aggression coming through from them. I'm sure they won't let him down, and that's the thing I'm really worried about, particularly for this Phoenix, right? In the lane, you want to go for the Fiery Spirits, of course. It's good harass. It's good ways to help contest denies and last hits. And the thing that sucks about it, though, is that if you go into that, you're really vulnerable to dying. The Riki, of course, can go the Blink Strike. You've got the Enchantress that's going to have Enchant just to slow you down. And if you've used up all your spirits, you've got a 50-second period where you're essentially a range creep. And it's going to be quite vulnerable. So I like the fact that he's gone the Fairy Fire, just maybe hoping to style on the T1 heroes a little bit, maybe get away, juke his way out. Once he gets to his level 2, it's not quite as bad of a situation. But yeah, definitely scary stuff in the super early game.
Yeah, with how they're hopefully able to transition this one and see how they fare as the game goes on. Is there a draft you're kind of favoring at the moment in this first game of our second series of the night?
I mean, just because it's a little more different, I'm going to like T1. I like innovation, right? Like, yes, we're in the middle of a tournament, but it's still the time for discovery. These things do matter, and I like that T1... They're, of course, going to take their opponents seriously, but it's such valuable practice to be able to put this on in an official setting as well. Trying a few new things out, seeing what works for them. Because, I mean, if history's told us anything, you can win every single scrim and then lose at a big tournament like TI. Or you can lose everything and then suddenly you're 2-time TI champions.
Yeah, you're just going to turn up on the main stage. That's the big thing. Once we do get those lands coming back in as well. I'm excited to see how a lot of these teams are going to continue to fare. But what I'm excited for is just more Dota 3 action. I mean, this is something I've been looking for the entirety of the day. I literally woke up, first thing I checked is if the patch was out, and now we got 2 games earlier. I was hoping tonight to get 6 games and have like a 70-minute one. I know that would have been, we would have gone late into the evening or even the AM, but it's I can't complain about 7.28 Dota as much as we can get.
Exactly. More Dotes. That's what we need. And we've got a reconnect coming through here, so that's nice. Expect to reconnected. Take your time. Lots of drawings on the map. Oh. Let's be careful.
Don't get too creative there, but I mean, at least now, how is at least what is one of the lanes you think is going to be high impact and potentially a high amount of kills here?
I mean, T1 are definitely going to be trying for that in the safe lane, that's for sure. It's just a matter of how do Execration look to respond. Do they... I don't even think you can start with a tri lane, It just needs to be RR playing super BDZ playing super defensively and using vision as much as he can to his advantage. Do they have any wards? No, they're actually going down with 3 towards the bottom side, so I kind of like this as well. You've got the good setup with the enchant. You're assuming that they're going to have Cuckoo might even go for that 1 point into the gush super early on, just if it is going to secure them the kill, and then you're still going to be able to rotate top and potentially be 2 kills up like 1 minute into the game.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of the value point coming through with that gush early, and it just gives you so many opportunities to these early first bloods and really get that nice little chunk of gold that can be a big factor. Not even the gold, the experience is another big thing as well, because we've seen players now are really starting to utilize that extra level advantage. You just got 2 spells instead of the 1 from the enemy team. If you really, you know, push the tempo with that 2 before they get their extra. So I would hope that T1 can maybe find a first blood here, and you know, unfortunately it looks like already Radiant actually setting up with 3 heroes up top. And you take a look at that vision, a lot of emphasis here just with the rotations.
The battle begins.
I will say this is a very cool Ricky set as well. I know I've seen it occasionally, but my boy Jackie there is, he's looking pretty clean on the Ricky.
It's like Jack the Ripper sort of looking thing.
Yeah.
A little steampunky.
I like it a lot. We'll see how he's able to fare. You know, we haven't seen the Ricky too much for a while. Of course, new patch, we'll see how this one's going to transition into it. But if they can put the pressure on, you know, this is going to be a lane where Execration, the Phoenix early on, not going to do as much, and against the matchup of Mars, you're already a pretty good matchup, so.
The harass begins. You can see there just immediately jumping in onto him, actually leveling up the impetus instead. Okay, thought they might try and continue to commit. Hope to go for him. It would have meant using both blink strike charges, so maybe feeling like that would have left him a little bit vulnerable to losing some of these last hits. But Whitemon, of course, always going to be showing some expert gameplay on his Enchantress.
Yeah, this is one of the heroes I've been very impressed when he's been playing the Enchantress throughout the BTS Pro Series so far. Just really secured a lot of their safe lanes, and it's allowed Jackie to thrive on this new team as well.
BTS doing a good job though, making sure to body block that hard camp. So Whitemon, not going to be able to get a creep as soon as he hits level 2. A lot more harassing onto him. What spawn is the Vools? Okay, so nothing too crazy the Whitemon would be able to grab if he did just opt for a small camp.
Take a look at the mid matchup at the moment as well. 6-3 with the Void. Only 2 and 4 at the moment for the Invoker. Early on to be expected going Coswex. Your damage not as high. I mean, we did see that Quelling Blade get nerfed slightly. It's down to 13 damage here, which is going to be pretty important, honestly. Just, you know, we see a lot of these melee heroes.
Going in. Mars is probably dead here.
Torpedo's in trouble. They get the spear, going to push away Jackie. Already used all his blinks.
Still though, that's a lot of pressure, but now Phoenix has been able to get up to that level 2 mark, so he's got some safety.
Another pause. Gives us more time to work at how the lanes are going. We'll take a look even down bot as well. With the Tide and Shadow Demon versus the ET and the Spectre. They've got the lanes kind of shoved in at the moment, and there are no blocks on the camps as well. So this is going to allow RR really to be able to utilize that Astral and try and stack up. But let's see if he's going to be able to make the small camp pool. Might not be able to, but he's always got that hard camp to utilize at the moment.
I think they're doing a fine enough job. Your way, as I say that, he just gets banished. Trying for the body block, keep him inside, forces the dagger out.
They've got a lot of stacks as well, then we're going for that. Well, that now really disrupts at least RR from getting the pull off. I mean, they do have double range at the moment here for T1, so this lane is going to start to push in, but they were well aware with how the lane was situated that the ET wanted to start to make rotation back and pull the wave, and as soon as they saw him go for it, they're like, all right, this is our time to put some pressure onto the Spectre, and they do a very good job there.
Creep deny for Cuckoo. Immediate chat wheel afterwards. He doesn't know any other way.
It's always got to give the little bit of BM, make sure they're well aware that you're the alpha in this lane.
I mean, have you seen that belly? He is thick.
He's got a big ass belly. That's a beer belly, as we like to call it. My dude's chugging him down.
500 ping.
That's a rough one. Don't want to be playing an elimination match on 500 ping to say the least here, but let's see if they go on the Mars actually. Yeah, Enchant is through. BDZ is gonna have the Fire Spirits backup available here, but Jackie can always utilize that Tricks the Trade in the blink, and yeah, Mars is falling incredibly low. There we go. Utilizes the last little extra abilities that Jackie's got, and is going to be able to pick up first blood here.
Important kill for them to get. I think you're kind of banking on having that for the laning stage. BTZ though, now he's level 3, so he's got those 2 points into the Fiery Spirits. It's a lot harder for Jackie, who's already completely out of regen. So, much as White Mon, he's still got the 2 tangos remaining, so might look to ferry one over onto the Ricky, in addition to that healing salve that he's got coming out for him. Just letting him prioritize, doing the damage. White Mon, we've seen him do so much with so little.
Rotation mid, Carl. Should be fine with him to simulate though, but they get the cold snap dive as well. He actually doesn't go on the high ground, and now Carl, I mean, that cold snap's now worn off because they didn't get the extra damage tick. With the Resonant Pulse, the last right click, not going to be absorbed here. So they still get that kill. And now let's see what he's going to miss mid. He's got a couple creeps that he will not be able to find the gold or experience on. So that's a very big kill for Ken, who only got 12 last hits at the moment.
The pulls continue here, actually able to take away a ghost, so going to be able to slow down this Phoenix-Mars pair. It's just more and more fun for Jackie though, putting a lot of faith in him. Got a good spear off, but yeah, it's so hard to kill an Enchantress this early on, just with the insane range that you've got, and White Mon's micro, top class.
You see, they're even just running down the Mars. They're like, we're not going to give you any room here to play Dota as down bot bounties. Def is able to get the banishment to stop RR from counteracting with the Echo Stomp, and they're stacking up the poison actually. RR could be in trouble if the Gush Slow as well is just going to enable Zephyr to continue chasing. He uses the poison, but it's not going to be enough damage. One more stack. Can he find a secondary one? RR trying to juke, and he will be able to. Zephyr now still got the mango, but they're going to double back. Spectre coming over with that dagger, 2 points in it. Gonna be trouble still on RR because he just runs back in. 3 poison. Zephyr will claim it. He doesn't have enough ways to be able to get out. Oh, okay, looks like the Spectre doesn't want to continue chasing. Meanwhile, top as well, Mars. He's in trouble, although that's a big one. Mid lane, Ken, he gets a solo kill on top of the Void Spirit there. Okay.
Second solo kill, by the way. So things looking pretty decent for Execration in the mid lane. Like, yeah, sure, you'll be sacrificing a few things, some couriers going down. I think you're always resigning yourself to the fact that you're gonna probably have a multiple deaths happening in this top lane. The fact that Mars has only gone down once, that's a decent win for them. But Jackie starting to get a little bit out of control in the farm department, nearly doubling the Mars.
I like this rotation from Ken. Let's see if they're gonna scout it out. Jackie.
No cloak and dagger just yet.
Kind of back at the moment. They're going to try and go for him. He's got the creeps coming forward, but the spear perfectly timed off the tornado. Unable to get that blink away. Lovely rotation from Ken. He kind of shoved out the wave, so Carl wasn't able to really scout that out. They didn't have a ward as well by the power rune, so that's a big rotation because you literally just highlighted the fact that this is going to be a pretty difficult lane here for Execration to be able to play in, and Mars gets that kill now for him, and even down bot, Cuckoo, he's fallen pretty low here. RR not going to try and dive under the tower because Zephyr's stacking up the poison. Not going to be enough to claim the kill on top of the Spectre. They still want a man fight though. That Astral's going to give an immense amount of damage. They get the banishment to give them some space. RR now slowed down.
It's not going to be enough. And this is the sort of game where you wish you were a Zeus, you know? Just ult, clean up.
Global now. Uh-oh. Mars is in trouble. They use the trick, so let's see if the Mars is going to be able to drag him away. And yes, he does. Beautiful timing there, but the impetus from Whitemon. Have another one up in a couple of seconds here, but it looks like the Mars is going to be able to get back underneath the tier 1 tower. So Rupido is going to be able to keep his life. BDZ's even going to give him a nice little salve as well. But this is, you know, still T1. All their cores are getting a lot of farm at the moment. They've got 1, 2, 3 in the net worth.
Very nice. First time I think that this hard camp actually hasn't been blocked, and Whitemon is trying to get that little bit of extra farm. Now the harass goes in onto VDZ. Even the little skeletons making their way towards Rapido. Yeah, such a menace. Always needing to be concerned about him. Nothing too out of the ordinary though. Diffusal Blades, the build up for our Ricky. What have we got on our Invoker? He's going for the Urn. Blade Mail, Spectre. Surprised they didn't change too much about that.
Yeah. What they nerf about Spectre? I'm trying to remember. Did they slightly tweak the dispersion? I think in the Desolate. I really wish they had that tooltip under the abilities because they've had it previous patches, but not there at the moment. Although mid lane, Carl's in trouble. They're just going to be able to burn him down with the Sunray. Okay, I mean, he's been having a pretty difficult lane so far. This Invoke guy's had his number. 3 deaths. It does leave Rupido solo up top, so Jackie and Whitemon's going to be able to punish that.
Well, perhaps some lag coming through there for Carl, the DC coming in. They just made Dispersion. It's not that huge of a nerf. It's like, it was 22% at max level, the Dispersion, and now it's 20. So, nothing super major.
Yeah, I remember they did do a little bit of drop off in one of the abilities, and we actually see that he's gone for he's actually gotten rid of the blade mail. He's gone for the manta. Oh, never mind. All right, he's gone back for the blade mail. Usually we've seen the Spectre pretty much rush it though, because it gives you an opportunity to just leave the lane as soon as possible, farm up the jungle. But the Spectre's actually gone for the treads and wand as well, so not that blade mail rush.
They've spotted out the fact that this possessed mask has just dropped here, but it's the Dyers. Zephyr's close enough that he's going to be able to grab it, though. I don't think you'll get the Astral Spirit Echo stomp on in time.
Surely.
They're going to try.
No. Close. Nice attempt. Whitemon, though, is underneath an Observer Ward. They have the Urn coming through as well, so this is going to be a pretty big kill if they can get some Urn charges, but he's well aware of this, trying to scurry himself away. Just dodges that tornado as well, which would have been so important for them, but they've got the vision. Allows Ken to get in range for the cold snap, and if they can continue locking him down, yeah, they get that big EMP damage now, but the right clicks is enough. So now Ken has got some Urn charges to be able to utilize. He's 3-0-2, so the early game Invoker has been very impressive.
Oh, the chipped vest on the Spectre as well.
Oh no. Maybe you don't need a blade mail if you've got the worse version.
That's always nice.
Small adjustment.
Especially against someone like the Ricky, I suppose, that's going to be hitting you a lot.
See, what is the 26 damage? Heroes, 13 damage to creep, so even the HP regen's going to be pretty nice as well. Like, Spectre's always got a decent amount of regen. So, it looks to be some real big issues getting on with the connection at the moment. So, actually, I think someone said there was having a bit of weather problems there at the moment.
I'm assuming
so
Pong get lost means packet loss.
probably
It's using my 5 head, my big brain.
Don't need Google Translate for that one. We can kind of just presume there. I don't know about that. See, that's where we need John.
That is true. John is a font of information.
Yep. We can pretend. Let's do you want to try and guess what they're saying, or
No, I don't need a scandal right now in my life.
that's true. I'm not even going to try that one. So we do have the bounties that are coming out pretty shortly. So we already see the rotation coming through from Carl and Whitemon. This is getting scouted out, so they see Carl making a movement to top. Radiant aren't really in an area to contest. Ken's thinking about coming over as well. But the Mars still isn't level 6, unfortunately. Yes, he's only died twice. Well, I say only. That's still, not the greatest for him in the lane. But he's got 28 last hits and not too much experience, considering that his counterpart position 3 is level 7 at the moment here for Cuckoo. So, can they really contest it? Because BDZ's not there. Spectre's going back to the base. So, he will have a Haunt available to join them if they want to try and take this fight. They got good information as well by that secret shop, actually. So we'll see if they want to try and contest it.
It's not going to happen this game, but I can't wait for the moment where we get a Spectre against a Zeus and just the new Spectre shard. That's what I'm really looking forward to. So like Zeus ults just to try and give some vision or scout out maybe a Roche attempt or something like that. Then immediately Spec just pops it, jumps on the Zeus, Manta, burst him down, they're just able to zip right back out. Not this game though. No global potential right now on T1, so.
Well, here we go. ET is going to come top. They got the vision of Carl at the moment. They need some extra help coming through. Looks like Ken will be the reinforcements required, although the Mars might just get brought down instantly, and he will. The rest of Radiant aren't able to keep that position 3 alive, and he's continuing to have a bit of a rough game. Even Whitemon gets the eye on the observer ward, so not giving an inch over to Execration. This is a free lane for Cuckoo down bottom. Well, they're thinking about taking a fight here. BTS with the roll forward. Tornado catches out Zephyr here. This is a pretty important target. Looks like they're going to be able to bring him down. Carl's even trying to commit to clean the kill. I mean, he's going to have another ultimate charge up in a couple of seconds, so he should be A-okay. But they get the Echo Stomp. Cold Snap still on cooldown, so not going to have the extra control. Carl will make it away.
Really important for Carl there, picking up both of those kills, so that's going to bring him a long way towards recovering. Like, even despite dying that many times in lane, he's essentially level with the Invoker on net worth.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, it still goes. I mean, he's got a, 13 last hit advantage at the moment, considering even though Ken's got 4-0 and 2. But it's Carl having a pretty good time and dishing out a lot of damage on Ken. Even Zephyr's coming over, actually just picks up the level 6. Gonna have some protection with this Elder Titan on the backline, and now Void Spirit may overstep the mark, has got the illusion. Purchase off that slow, but it looks like Zephyr's in trouble. They're going to close the distance down with the Horn, but an instant banishment provides Carl some distance here, and now that Horn can be completely wasted here.
This one was not for you.
And Yoei knows. He knows that that's a big cooldown that now they need to be playing around, playing a little bit more passively, especially as this Riki gets closer and closer to his Diffusal Blade. He's only about 550 gold away. Carl is in a little bit of danger. I think he's fine to go back if he wanted to. Just regen up in base. You've got Jackie who's made his rotation through here. They might just think that it's only Zephyr around. But he reveals himself.
He's the one in trouble. He's just getting chased. Look at this man run, but Ken's going to catch him out. So he's going to be able to stack up a couple more earn charges. He does drop a very deep ward, which it looks like they don't have any thought of it being placed. But yeah, unfortunately that Yoei, utilizing the Haunt there, not getting anything out of it, but he's working on the Blade Mail as that item, unable to really keep up with the farmer. I've been impressed with how Jackie's fighting the net worth at the moment, but for mid lane, they're going to be able to drop the arena, spear, combine up. Carl's in trouble, gets to the simulate's going to be able to juke out. Even Jackie makes it out as well, but Carl, he doesn't have any more ultimate charges, so he's in trouble. They get rid of the Sunray, Resonant Pulse, isn't enough protection. The Fire Spirits might just tick him down with the urn as well. Jackie actually goes back in. They drop the Supernova, the spear combined. Jackie's in trouble, gets the tricks of the trade up on the higher ground, but the Supernova might just tick him out. The blink, not enough to get out of range. The Supernova's going to end up popping, finds the stun connection, and Execration get a second kill mid.
Really value. I mean, he made that rotation because of the death on Ken previously. Oh, sorry, not the death, but on the fact that he had to go all the way back to base. And now it's just delayed his diffusal timing by what's probably going to be about a minute and a half, which is a really big deal. By that point, the Spectre now has the Blade Mail coming out to him, so it's a lot harder for you to get those single target pickoffs.
And I like this from Cuckoo, instantly taking bot, heading towards the top side. I mean, he is one of the more difficult heroes to be able to bring down. Yes, you've got that Sunray, which is already level 3, so the fact that BDZ's actually a relatively high level, I mean, he's the 4th highest in the game, tied with, Void, and also, a couple of the others in the Spectre. But yeah, this Sunray is going to be a very key way to deal with the Tide Hunter, and even if they go into the Spirit Vessel, but it actually looks like Invoker's going for the 4 staff instead.
Okay, maybe just wanting to make sure that he's not getting hit by these Ravagers in the middle of team fights, give him a bit of an escape from the smoke screen once that starts to become a factor, but wanting to commit to a BKB super early on. Speaking of Tide, though, he is a farmed, thick boy. Nearly finished up his Vlads already. And, well, that Ancient stack's certainly going to make things easy for him.
Yeah, Cuckoo's going to be loving life here. I mean, they don't really have anyone else to farm it, so he's like, all right, this is my stack here. Get the supports to create that for himself, and he's already top of the net worth, and that's just going to be able to continue finding it, his increased net worth. And well, here we go. This is the Diffuser Blade now picked up for the Riki, so this is going to be able to give him a decent little power spike here. He can make some havoc across the map. T1 probably going to start to look to ramp up the pressure.
Diffuser Blade Riki. Shadow Demon's got his Arcane Boots. He's going to eventually dissemble them into the Aether Lens, and Tide Hunter's got the Vlads coming out to him just now. So, lots of danger. You can see them converging around mid. Very important tower to be able to take. Just provides so much access into that Tri-Camp area. They've already taken 1 stack, but they don't want it to be a second.
Radiant structures are
Radiant, do they want to fight? They've got all their ultimates.
Radiant's middle tower
They're coming
is under
over at the
attack.
moment. They are smoked up. They're going to drop a ward as well, which sees Whitemon inside the river. Smoke's going to pop, so they got the information now. Rapido on the front line. Drops the arena with a tornado combined as well with a supernova off to the side. That's a decent start to the fight. They're unable to deal with the Phoenix egg. Ravage going to try and disrupt it though. The egg ends up popping. Now with the Sono, they've got to be careful. Jackie has got a way to cancel this. They're melting through them. Camel 4 to start. No one died just yet on T1. Dissimulate's going to give him way to be able to jump on the back. Jackie's in once again to try and deal with the sport. Diffusal slow. Stops the Phoenix from being able to disengage. Jackie wants to go back again. He's got the tricks of the trade. RR trying to juke out throughout the tree line with the Echo Som to disrupt it, but it doesn't matter. Execration. They've lost 4, potentially 5th as well. Carl doesn't have an astral step. So Cuckoo, the only one to drop here from Dire. Even though it looked like a pretty good start to the fight, that arena tornado connecting on 2. They had the supernova, but
Radiant's
they
middle
just,
tower
you know,
is
the
under
Ravage
attack.
really disrupting the follow-up when that egg popped.
Yeah, not even just that, but making sure that he gets the Ravage off right before the EMP hits. So making sure he uses all of his mana. He doesn't want to take the burst damage and essentially be useless without the resources. Ken's trying to get this solo pick onto Zephyr,
Might be
which
in
would be
trouble
pretty
though,
big.
because Jackie's coming over. They have any detection. It's not going to matter. He doesn't even get out of the smoke cloud. So Zephyr's just baiting. He's farming a stack, and he's like, all right, I'm have the boys come through, and I'm gonna just dangle my life there. And second death here for Ken.
He's a notorious dangler, is Zephyr. And he's just been able to finish up his Aether Lens if he wants to bring it out to him on the courier. It's going to make its way over towards the secret shop. I think he's still waiting on the recipe, actually, to come out. Is someone else bringing that with him? No, it's just waiting inside his stash.
Come on, Cuckoo.
Yeah.
Get the shard.
Radiant's
Please do
bottom
it.
tower is under attack.
We want you to do it. We really do.
Feeling it.
20 minutes are coming up pretty soon. He's going to have that 15 around about by then as well, especially if no one else is farming the Ancients. But look at them continuing to put the pressure on. They know that Radiant used the ultimates. Carl's actually in and out, but Whitemon's the one to clean up there. So, yeah, I like that T1 aren't really getting, they're not relieving too much of the pressure here. They're continuing to make the plays, because Execration with these ultimates on cooldown. I mean, Supernova and Arena's back up, but the big thing is that Haunt's on cooldown. So, you've got that diffuser timing on Jackie. Carl can get really involved. He still doesn't have the Aghanims, but he's getting pretty close to it.
Well, exactly. Getting a little bit lucky with some of these neutral items. I think we've seen a bullwhip in every single one of these games, which is going to be really helpful. Cuckoo just smacks himself on the back and starts to move faster towards this mid lane. I think they just avoided the vision for that. That smoke coming through there, but Rupido potentially getting caught out here. Yoa, yeah, he's being scouted out a little bit here by Jackie, just avoiding it.
Radiant, they're coming over. Smoke's going to end up popping. They'll run into Whitemon. Beautiful position here from the Enchantress. They got the wrap coming through as well from Cuckoo, T1. They want to try and take the fight. Yoa on the backline. Zephyr's already committed the purge here, so not going to have this available for the fight if it does end up breaking out. Radiant have a nice ward in the background with the sentry as well, so they see Jackie. Even Carl's going to show up as well, but he doesn't have the Aghanims underneath the T1 tower. Radiant, can they drop a ward? Jackie straight away going to try and deal with the Mars forced up. Provide some distance. They're not heavily diving. It looks like actually Cuckoo. They got the vision now. He's away from the rest of the team. They're going to be careful. Can they cut them off though? Because they got this high ground ward now around the secret shot. Rapido drops Arena onto both the supports here. Beautiful choke point for them to take an engagement. They're even going to commit with the Horn as well. Yoa on top of the back. Cuckoo.
He's so fast with that haste, just slipping away. It was really good presence of mind of what was happening in the team fight. I think you can't allow two supports to get caught out like that as they go in on an individual target. This would be a nice little consolation prize.
Although Jackie, they're eating some damage at the moment. It's that tricks the trade. Gets him some space, but that's what level Sunstrike? That would have been
just level 3.
Bit ambitious.
But yeah, Cuckoo, he pump faked the Ravage that time. He was quick enough on the fingers to make sure he got rid of it. Oh, the silence coming through.
Got the force to provide some distance, but it's not going to matter. Jackie, the double blink capability, he can continue to chase even against that force staff. And well, T1, again, just recognizing when the ultimate's on cooldown for an Execration, they are very much in a difficult stage where they can't really make any plays. And I love this wrap coming through from bot to top. It looks like they're aware of this, but Dai got the ward in the backline, and Cuckoo's still got the Ravage as well, so they're going to be careful if they group up here, Jackie. deals with the support instantly. They don't have any of these
Radiant's
defensive
middle
items at the
tower is
moment to be able to get
under
out of that diffuse or smoke screen combo.
Come on, Cuckoo. You know you want to. It's 20 minutes. You've just got
Radiant's
1500
top
gold.
tower is under attack.
Let me see it.
Come on, sir, do it. We wanted some shards. Don't be a team player.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
He's keeping us
Dire's
waiting.
structures are fortified.
God damn it, the tease. We just want to see it. That's what we're all here
Radiant
for.
structures are
10
fortified.
shards on either team. Or I should say in every game. And well, Radiant, they're going to smoke up, but they don't have Haunt for another 40 seconds. They do have the combo, at least in the Mars Phoenix. Jackie mid, Smoke's going to pop, and well, they drop the Sentry. A bit too late, though. Jackie's got the illusion, so gets out of the Cold Snap and also that Urn, so... This is the nice kind of value thing about being able to hold that one.
I saw that Cuckoo'd spent about
Radiant's bottom
1500 gold, and I
tower
was
is
like,
under
oh,
attack.
but it's just the Python.
Oh,
So,
no.
very disappointed.
Well, maybe next. He's going Blink, okay. Maybe later in the game. Who knows?
It's not gonna be good then.
Yeah, I know. Like, we want it now. We don't want it later on. Give us some entertainment. Where is Carl getting killed down bot? Might be punished, though. Gets his last ultimate charge, but there's no real follow-up at the moment here. Rapido still chasing. But you gotta be careful now, because if they're not protecting the Void Spirit, then where are T1 making the plays? And it looks like it's top for
Radiant's
Yoe.
middle tower is under attack.
Just a little bit short on damage, you know. Yeah, you get the kill onto the Phoenix, but it's early on enough that, well, I say that they're probably not going to go for a Roche attempt as they walk right on in. They now have the potential to go for this sort of kill. Yes, you're lacking the arena, but don't really need it. You know, Roche is one of those areas where it's so closed off, you just need to pop it on the left-hand side. There's no real ways that they can deal with it, and yeah, they decide the same. They're looking to back off, reset, go for one more pick-off, and then look to make the Roche attempt happen.
T1 in this first game being able to accumulate a 9,000 net worth lead at the moment have done a very good job at playing around with the timings that Execration have on their ultimates, and this is a BKB completed here for the Ricky. He's got a new item queued up as well. Interesting. We're going to see...
Mage Slayer, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just going to be going right in onto that Invoker, making sure that, I want to say it's 35% less damage, magic damage, that, you know, spellcaster classes do.
Yeah, with that passive, if he gets a proc and... Oh, Jackie. Tons in there. But they get the kill on the ET. Maybe that's enough for them to think about going back into Roche, because ET can really disrupt this, even though Radiant have all their ultimates. And
Dire's
well, that
bottom
Alpha
tower
Wolf is
under
even
attack.
going to enable it just that much more. And the nice thing at least is that you've got... What? Oh, he's got it queued up. Alright, let's go.
It's happening.
You got to commit to it. You know, queuing up it is one thing, finishing it is another. As Radiant, they scout it out. The T1, do they stand their ground though? They're coming over instantly, but Carl's positioned with the Remnant, so they're well aware of them.
Lots of cooldowns available.
Oh my god, that's Arena now just completely wasted here. That's pretty much their combo, and now T1, they want to punish this. They're just back in. Jackie even pops the BKB, but they need the vision to jump forward for the backline here. BDZ could be in trouble. Got the Force dive as well, but now uh-oh, he's just going to get chased down. Tries to drop the Earth Spoon in a spot where he can disengage, but Yoe, he even runs into the middle as well, commits the Haunt. They're going to drop the Ravage.
Nice
He
Ravage.
controls up a couple on top of the backline here. They still end up losing the Ricky now with the Supernova. It's going to force Dire to disengage, but where's the catch at the moment, Ken? Going to have that force off into the Ice Ball and the Choke Point here. It's a decent position now with 3-man silencer from Carl. They're going to try and deal with the back. Astral Step. Ken will pay the price here. They get the Echo, still the damage coming through from the Sunray, but where's the control? Ken is protected with this banishment. Now they're going to be careful. They still stand their ground.
Hits the illusion.
Spear. It finds the illusion instead, but Yoe's still alive. He's slowly chunking them down, but they're going to back him up here. They're stacking up the poison up
White
to 4
Mon's
right
cleaning
now.
up.
They're going to be careful, but look, the Enchantress going to work. Whitemon, he's tearing them apart. The
Triple!
Impetus, he gets the 4 stuff away. Triple for Whitemon. They want more blood as well as Carl's hunting. He's got that Arcane Rune at the last second, gets the silence, prevents anything from the Phoenix. Ultra for Whitemon. Been so impressed from his Enchantress play throughout the BTS Pro Series, and it's continuing to show in this game 1 here. An Ultra for your position 5.
You love to see it. See, now they can go take Roche. It's nice and easy.
What a
Yes.
interesting
He's
fight.
got it.
Under attack.
Oh, let's go. so nuts. That's actually so nuts. Spectre's gonna tickle him.
Roshan has fallen to the
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's a big net worth lead they've been able to accumulate now after that fight. 15,000 gold advantage, big experience lead as well, and now they've got that extra life to be able to utilize too. And well, they know that Radiant used some ultimates for that engagement, so instantly T1 heading top. They want to try and claim this tier 2 tower. They've got a nice ward on the triangle, and Whitemon already positioning if they go for some form of like a wraparound play.
Look at the tower. Click the tower. Minus
my
137
God.
damage.
He still just takes nothing. Actually, that's stupid. What?
Called
I tested on the tier 1, and I'm like, I don't know if like, I know the tier 2 does a little bit more, but I hadn't
It's
seen on the tier 2, and it's
man.
like stupid.
Radiant's top tower.
Alright.
Are scanning.
What the hell?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Ah, so funny. These new shards, you get a good laugh out of them. And, well, look at Whitemon as well. He's got Treads, Force, Windlace. See what he wants to go into that next side. I mean, the Enchanter's got a couple of nice little buffs as well, I think, through the last patch. So, I don't know if we'll see him kind of transition into something, but if he gets an ultra kill like that, might be able to keep playing around.
Unless they get their spells off absolutely perfectly, this Tide isn't dying, right? You're always
Dump
going
bot.
to have
Carl
the
might die, though.
restoration.
TP rotations coming through. They drop the arena, but now with the haste, they want to try and punish Radiant instantly.
actually in danger?
Out. Carl, can he get it? Any control? No, the Spectre's TP a little bit too long, and they even dropped the Ravage as well. A lot of hate, giving him no opportunity to haunt away. And, well, they were hunting out the Void Spirit, but they doubled back, and...
I'm pretty sure that's a situation where two people TP to the same spot, and it just takes a lot longer. Little things like that, a Spectre dying in this kind of lineup is... Yes, you can come back. Yes, you're a Spectre, but it's going to be super hard. Like we've been saying, Cuckoo, he's just going to continue walking into these towers. He can stand under it, take absolutely 0 damage. It's literally 0 damage, by the way, that he's taking under this. And, yeah, they can't do anything. Like, he's got the mech, sorry,
Mid
he's
lane,
got the
Jackie.
Vlads.
Straight on top of the Invoker, but they get the Purge out, so the Force Staff does nothing. He's slowed up as well on top of the backline. Mars trying to disrupt it, but they're not going to be able to. The supports hold their ground. Carl's back in once again. Without the Spectre, I mean, he's going to have his Haunt up when he's back alive here, but look at Carl's positioning, man. He does not give a damn. 21,000 net worth lead in T1. Walk up the higher ground here. They really want to. I mean, look, the ages for another 2 minutes. Mid and bot are shoved in. Yoe's showing he's got to be kind of careful at the moment without the Mars and the Invoker here. They get the banishment. Stuck inside the silence, and the Purge available once again, just counteracting the Force Staff here. I love this combo. Riki's a hero who gets heavily countered by Force, but you pair it up with the Shadow Demon, just takes that effect away. And I mean, Zephyr's got the Aghanims already as well, so 3 charges to utilize.
It just seems like everything's all coming together. You know, everything's happening at the same time. Towers go down despite not having a natural tower taker because of this Cuckoo build. Like you mentioned, just the direct counter is countered by the fact that the Ag Scepter just comes up at the perfect time, and even just not needing to have the mana. Like that's the struggle that Cuckoo's having right now. He does not have mana to keep casting his Anchor Smash.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Let's hope they can get a little bit back if this fight continues on, because he wants to chuck out that big RP. Radiant. Vector's up pretty soon. They've got all their ultimates, so they want to try and fight. Let's see if Dire is still going to hold their ground. Aegis in their hands for another minute 10 here. Maybe doubling back. They've got a ward more to the northern side, Cuckoo. He knows how strong he is, and oh, there we go, straight away on top of the Invoker. Force Staff's going to do nothing. BKB a little bit too late as well. Now with the arena drop, but they're not getting that combination out. Phoenix, Sarge, Jackie instantly on top of the backline. He's still got the Aegis, hasn't even popped the BKB as well. Look how aggressive that the Ricky's able to play in the Ravage. Finds all 3. They check out the Haunt, but the damage just isn't there at the moment from Yahweh. The break from Zephyr, 4 down, and T1. This is such a masterclass performance from them. They're going to be able to take a full set of racks down, but they can easily go mid as well. This tier 3 does nothing to them because of the Tide Hunter.
Yeah, I think even a Spectre draft is not able to come back from this. There's just no way that you can get the damage. I'm not seeing the effect that the Elder Titan is having with this particular style of game plan. It was just really good drafting all around. You know, the Enchantress is just nullifying everything that they're trying to do. with the offensive dispel. And yeah, honestly, the teamfight ultimates have been pretty damn on point. That I think it was a 17-minute or so ags as well from Carl. Despite the poor laning stage that he had, it just means that they can't do anything on these backlines. You know, you take the Phoenix out of the equation and nothing really happens. Forces him to go into this hyper defensive build as well with the Lotus Orb. You know, you're not taking the offensive. You're not putting yourself out there to try and get kills. It's just try and survive long enough that Spectre, just through the use of the Blade Mail and the dispersion, is going to get kills passively.
Oh god, it's 100% probability. Ooh, this one's looking rough here for Execration in game 1. I mean, Jackie's still hunting as well, straight on top of the ET. He's got a goddamn Nullifier, so they already had the Purge to be able to deal with the Force Staff and the items. Now they even got the help of Nullifier as well from Jackie. Chucks that one out, straight on top of the Mars. The Supernova. I mean, they're trying to do whatever they can. They won't be able to kill it off, even though Carl and also Cuckoo gets straight on top of the Phoenix, but they've got the extra lockdown, and I mean, ET will buy back. Phoenix can rejoin them as well, but it's a 33,000 net worth lead. They got 33 kills, 31 minutes into the game. A lot of threes and an extra kill, though. Carl goes in, Cuckoo to follow, Jackie. This has been... I mean, I love the Riki pick this game from T1. It was just an incredible draft from them. The Riki, such a good matchup to deal with the Mars, to deal with someone like the ET who kind of, you know, sits on the back line, the Phoenix as well. You've just got the catch and they don't have the control to deal with them. So he's freely able to jump the back, really drop that silence, really disrupting them. And, you know, these are heroes that you want a long sun raid, kind of disrupt the Echo Stomp, get that combo, and it just wasn't there. T1, beautiful draft, beautiful execution.
Beautiful entertainment and sports. But yeah, I mean, even the Phoenix on top of that, right? Like, you can't do anything if you're smoke screened, and it's not like you're going to be picking up a BKB on a Phoenix that's in a losing lane. So it's yeah, just a lot of pressure coming out from super early on. Like I've been saying before, it feels like on this patch, because of the big power spikes that can come from, you know, some of these big new items, it feels like the power creep is real with, you know, some of the neutrals coming through. We saw how effective Cuckoo was at tower pushing when they don't have a tower pusher. Once that Aghanim shard is able to be picked up, and games are just ending so much faster. And it feels like if you're not setting yourself up to be in a good position from the laning stage, then good luck coming back.
Yeah, this is the thing about new patches. When you don't have a real good understanding of what the meta is and how to really come back, games are always at the start. They're going to be incredibly fast until teams are really able to get an understanding of, you know, these new items, new heroes, new abilities, and how they can really reset and communicate and execute a comeback potential. But you know, they're going against, you know, T1 that are looking incredibly strong. Yes, they did get knocked down to the low bracket, but this is just a performance from them that is still looking like the T1 that we've, you know, come to love throughout the group stages. And, you know, even just one thing I want to highlight before we end up closing this one out is that Zephyr, he also got the shard as well. So we saw 2 shards that game. You know, still very much enjoying every shard that we were able to see, and any new Aghanims as well. But that's going to be it for our game 1 here in our Execration. Their backs against the wall. They are 1 game away of being the 4th team eliminated for the BTS Pro Series Season 4. We're going to take a quick break and see if they can force a game 3 or if T1 will sweep this 2-0. Don't go anywhere, guys. Break. for Execration, their tournament lives on the line as they are one game down in our last lower bracket match of the night. Denog, once again, the meme lord with the background, utilizing that green screen. We've been big fans of it so far, and we got the Tide. You know, what better hero to chuck on the back?
I wanted to put a public service announcement out there. Yes, Tydags Shard can be busted, but
10 seconds remaining.
please don't rush it as a first item. It gives no stats. It is very useless if you're dead.
5 seconds
So
remaining.
I feel like you need at least 2 items before that. Like, let's say, I feel like Vlad's is almost necessary. And, you know, we saw, I think for Cuckoo, he went Arcane Boots, Vlad's, Pipe, and then he went into it. So that's like 2.5 items, let's say. I think you can get away with Greaves into a Vlad's and maybe a Cloak, and then go ahead into it. But please do not build it as your first item. I beg you. It might seem nice, but you're just going to die. That is my PSA for the day. It hasn't been banned yet, so we might see it come out again, although Viper does make things a little bit difficult, although it is T1 that's picked up the Viper, so who knows?
Radiant
Yeah, maybe they go
team
Viper and then they pick up a Tide as their carry. But we're going to see Execration with the Slardar, potentially into the Phantom Assassin, which we've been seeing a lot. And you might want to change that background to the Earth Spirit. We've had 3 incredible games in the past 2 days on the Earth Spirit. 2 yesterday from our Fu. There we go. The Earth Spirit's back up. I mean, it's just been demolishing games. How you've been able to play that through the early stage. And all right, well, you know, we're gonna see the Terrorblade here, so I'm excited if he pulls out the new Agdam Shard and even
What's it
just
called?
the
Like,
axe.
Demon
Demon Zeal.
Demon
Dire
Zeal.
team
I think
back.
I saw Arteezy was playing it a little bit, and he was like, I don't know how I feel about it, because 25% of your current HP to cast is kind of a big deal,
Radiant
and especially
team
now,
back.
given the fact that Satanic, I don't want to say it sucks as an item, but a big part of why it was good was the status resistance, especially as a TB, you know, like having that extra, let's say half a second where you're not stunned is the difference between getting a Sunder off or not. So I feel like it might be too big of a cost, even though it
10
gives
seconds
some nice little
remaining.
stats,
Dire
like 50
team
attack
back.
speed, a little bit of movement. I just don't know how I
Radiant
feel about it.
team back.
I think maybe if you get it as like your 7th item, it's totally fine, but I wouldn't be rushing it by any stretch.
I'm a big fan of the first phase ban though from T1. They get rid of the Tusk, so kind of protecting this Viper. I've always highlighted that I think Viper's a hero that
10
very much
seconds
suffers if they
remaining.
gank him multiple times at the level 1 stage, and Tusk is one of the better ways to deal with that.
5
And it would have
seconds
been great with their
remaining.
lineup already. Slardar, TB, but you see just the protection as well. Oracle's going to get banned out, one of the better ways to be able to enable Terrorblade to get that ultimate. So we'll see how they want to try and go with a 5 and a 4. I'm a big fan of having a 5 with a stun and someone and a 4 who can still play around, because Terrorblade with that meta, it's a big damage spike, and you know, being able to kill the Viper early is a big factor.
So what are we thinking? Jetpack Clockwork? Is that what we're going here?
No, I'm down for it. I'll be excited to see. I think it's going to be so nuts, actually, the Jetpack Clockwork. That
Mhm.
would be...
He
there's
just looks
so many-
so funny when he's doing it as well.
does. There's so many new shards I want to see. The Ags. I mean, it's fresh. It's a fresh game. We're all excited for it. You know, it's
Dire
getting a bit
team
stale.
back.
I like the Venge Band though. That's a good one. You know, we're probably... I think with that patch where like Venge might start to get played more as a
Team
core, but it still has this factor with the Terrorblade Venge combo, and then even just the synergy with the Slaughter. A lot of
Radiant
minus
team
armor.
pick.
Omni. Okay.
Ooh.
Um,
Don't know how I feel about this,
Yeah.
or where necessarily they're going to be laning it, because TB, I guess it enables him, like, once the meta's down, to still be kind of healthy to fight.
10
Like, the
seconds
Heavenly
remaining.
Grace is going to give him a good amount of HP regen. He's got a crappy hero
5
pool, so
seconds
Purification's just
remaining.
going to top him off and just pray that his high armor is going to do a lot of the work, but that's not where a lot of the damage is going to be coming from this Viper. It's just going to be from this magic damage through the poison attack. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel, unless they're trying for some sort of core Omni Knight. But they've already got a Slardar, so I'm a little confused, I'll be perfectly honest, about how they're going to make this work against a Viper in particular. But they could.
Yeah, I thought they were going to go for more of an aggressive type of lane, really trying to hinder the Viper's early stage, but at least the Omni Knight defensive factor, you know, you have a way to be able to get out of the Silence and the Earth Spirit. Viper more than likely going to pick up an Atos, and well, we see a Lich getting picked up, which is incredibly strong against any kind of right-clicking lineup. That Frost Shield is going to protect you from the physical damage. It does get answered in the Rubik. There are very good abilities to steal here. Oh no!
Instantly. I'm nearly just going ahead and saying T1 have got this already. Like, you've got the Frost Shield already to be able to deal with the push, and now you've got the Arc Warden with the Magnetic Field, and the laning stage that's probably not going to go your way. I honestly think Rubik is probably top 5 strongest heroes this patch, just because of how they've changed him up a little bit, given him moved the Fade Bolt down to level 10, the steals damage from enemy heroes, and giving him cast range as well with his Arcane Supremacy, which I think is just nuts. So, yeah. I just think this T1 draft is just too good already.
Do you think... How do you... I know you said Rubik you feel pretty strong. Do you think he's a lot better? Because he was already, I think, one of the top... I'd say top 5 position 4s in the last patch. And they buffed him.
I think he's better.
Yeah,
I think
which I find really
They give him
surprising.
more cast range?
That's nuts. Like,
really? Like, the standard build for every single Rubik player should be Arcane Boots, Aether Lens, Blink Dagger. And now you might be able to get away with not actually going for the Aether Lens, just because you're going to have a lot more cast range coming through purely from your skills. So it's like, can you go this hyper greedy style? You might need to, because you've there's certainly a lot of good spells to steal in this game. You know, the Chain Frost is going to be nuts, especially on the backlines. I mean, it's going to be nuts for the Lich, let's be honest. If they ever try doing any sort of siege with all of those TB illusions, it's just going to rip straight through them, and they don't care all that much about the Guardian Angel.
Yeah, and even that goddamn shard ability, the telekinesis, like, what the heck's going on there? You're just chucking yourself or your allies at everyone, and even the Rubik, it now has even more potential of maybe being a position too, and actually having some core factor. But in this game, Execration, they have to deal with the Arc Warden. They don't have ways to get on top of him. Terrorblade might even have to, if you've got a lineup that doesn't get on top of someone, Terrorblade might have to go for like a Blink in the Aghanims, just with that fear. It could be a way to deal with him. You are worried about this protective factor in the Frost Shield, but this last pick, I mean, what's gone? Ember's gone, Storm's gone, Batrider's gone, so very high mobility heroes to be able to jump the Arc Warden. They're gonna need a way to do it here for Ken's mid lane.
I'm just gonna go on a limb here, because I honestly don't see how the draft works in a normal sense for Execration. I'm gonna say this Rubik is mid. I'm going to say this Omni Knight is position 4 paired together with a Slardar, and I think they're going to pick the 5 now. Some sort of 5 that can be a little bit more aggressive, that wants to do some initiating. Could be a Clockwork, honestly. Like, it's not amazing against the Void Spirit, or it's kind of fine against Earth Spirit, I guess. And then if it does get super later on, you have that new Clockwork. When you're in the Power Cogs, you're Spell Immune, which is a nice late game talent to have if it does get to that stage. Certainly nullifies a lot of what Earth Spirit, Lich, and Viper, and Void Spirit are trying to do to you. But that's really the only way I can see this this draft working for Execration, unfortunately. Just taking advantage of Rubik being a lot stronger, in my opinion, as a core hero.
Yeah, I'd be a bit worried if they're gonna put if they don't last pick a core though. I'm hoping Puck or something like that. They're gonna Mars.
Choose your hero.
That gives you a way to jump. It's looking like it's gonna be a
mid Mars, maybe. It's
Omni. I mean, more than likely, the matchup versus the Void, they can. Yeah, there we go. Mid Mars. Okay, so we might see the new Aghanims and the Shard as well.
It's possible, to be sure. I mean, that'd be super nice if you could spear Arc Warden and his Tempest double with the one spear with the Aghanim Shard. I don't know. I can't see this safe lane going very well for Execration, unfortunately for them. I know they've put on a very good showing throughout the group stage. I mean, they were top of the table for the first 4 or so days, I think. But it's been a little bit of a drop-off for them since then, unfortunately. And who knows? I might be dead wrong, but I feel like this draft from T1 addresses a lot of what Execration are trying to do.
Yeah, I'm just worried that they don't really have the greatest way to be able to get on top of the Arc Warden as well. I mean, Mars Arena is one of the best ways to control fights, but you know, Jackie's just gonna have a BKB at some stage. They don't really have, you know, Whitemon could even go like a Glimmer Force, one defensive item, and then Arc Warden's gonna be fine. Like I honestly think Terrorblade needs a blink. I don't see what they're able to do. Like you're gonna have to. I think Terrorblade has to have a really good game for them to actually take this. And I agree with you. This lane's going to be super rough. You've got a defensive support, so you're not really able to pressure the Viper at his weakest stage. So Viper Earth Spirit's going to take over that lane. Startup Rubik, pretty strong. I mean, Arc Warden's a little bit more of a weaker laning stage, and it's also a Lich with a ranged hero, so you're unable to really get the combo with the Frost Shield to play aggressive. But, you know, I think Execration have to play this game like perfectly to win this. Just a cheeky Arc Warden in an elimination match is going to be difficult for Execration to deal with.
And it was instantly picked as well. They were so confident on T1 that this was going to be able to just handle everything that Execration are trying to throw at them. It's not going to be a huge factor in this game, but Rubik is another one of those heroes. Like I've talked about the changes to his abilities, you know, like Arcane Supremacy providing all that cast range super early on, really nice. The stolen debuff amp now is on the spell steal instead. Do you want to hover over that telekinesis Aghanim shard for me?
Did you say the telekinesis? Sorry.
On the Rubik, yes,
Yeah,
the Ag
yep.
shard.
Yep.
Allows you to target yourself or allies with telekinesis. Throw range is 60% longer and cooldown is reduced by 30% when targeting allies. Throw delay reduced to 0.5 seconds. You can lift people out of the enemy's chronosphere. You can lift your teammates out of the enemy team's black hole with this ability. I don't know if that's intended, but you can do it. It's not going to be great this game because there's nothing like, you know, busted that's going to completely lock them down, but it's still pretty crazy mechanic.
Yeah, what the heck?
If you don't believe me, go and test it in demos. And while you're there and while we wait for this disconnect, feel free to follow me and Aries on Twitter. I am Danog on Twitter. Aries is Aries_HD. Did I get that right?
Yep. Yeah.
Very, very good. And I'm also on Facebook at Danog. But because this very well might be the last game that Aries and I are casting for this tournament. Like we've been saying, it is Execration's life on the line, unfortunately, here. And like you've been saying, it's going to need some perfect execution from Execration to be able to try and come back into this, force us to a game 3. Otherwise, we're going to have a very early night.
Yeah, we've kind of been getting used to, you know, throughout the group stages, been going to like 4:30 in the morning. You know, last playoffs were 2:30 last night, so it could be an early one, honestly. But Execration, I want a game 3. You know, tonight heading into it, I really wanted to see 6 games, just get as many new patch games in as we could. But first series with 2-0 and T1, they're looking to try and claim it 2-0 as well. Let's see if they can, you know, go against the Arc Warden, though. It's gonna be a difficult one to say the least.
For sure.
All right, what do we got? They any real shenanigans come through the setup so far? No, it's looking. I'm just intrigued to see the Mars, like how is going to try and itemize this game. You know, we did see the changes with the Aghanim Scepter, the Shard as well. So how Ken wants to kind of play. He did do very well in that laning stage with the Invoker up against the Void Spirit. And the issue is though, like it's going to be a melee matchup. Yes, you've got the God's Rebuke, which is going to be nice, but Kyle will always have that Resonant Pulse, well, at least a majority of the time, to really protect him through a lot of the damage here. So it is going to kind of minimize how much harassment Ken can really do, but, you know, it doesn't have a full uptime. That is the big thing.
For sure. But yeah, you just compare things here, like Jackie, he's able to get a lot of good harass along with Whitemon onto this Slardar. Yes, you've got a decent amount of armor. He's also bought himself the Ring of Protection to assist with that, but it's not going to be enough. I feel like they're just going to burn through all of their regen a lot quicker, and it's going to be the complete opposite story here. As soon as this Metamorphosis wears off on Yoy, it's just going to be a whole lot more difficult for them to try and get anything out of this lane, and Zephyr, he's making it even harder. He's pulling the wave all the way through, so they're just going to be able to farm it underneath the tower.
Yeah, Cuckoo did have to commit that TP, but I mean, meta's about to be expired, so now Yowei's at least kill potential is now evaporated, and Cuckoo's going to get out of the threat of dying early on. And well, we see Whitemon as well. Look at just the pressure. I mean, this is at least the double range though. So the Slaughter really unable to utilize that bash and constantly trying to trade with the enemy team. And just, man, that Frost Blast is still such an incredible level 1 nuke potential. You see Whitemon, yeah, I mean, he had 2 mangoes before, potentially even the 3 as well bringing out. I didn't see the starting items, and he's just, you know, going to work on the Slaughter, who's falling incredibly low, although Whitemon is playing super aggressive, but BDZ still doesn't. Oh, he just actually picks up the level 2, so now with the drag back.
Look at how far forward Cuckoo and that are as well on the top side.
Yeah, I mean, they're just playing so aggressive, but this might be our first blood as Whitemon's going to try and run in the tower, but Rapido going to be able to pick that one up. And yeah, Zephyr and Cuckoo, they're not even allowing Yowei to be able to farm under the tower. He's going to have to cut through all the trees, but Zephyr, he sniffs it out. Unfortunately, his cut in is still going to be able to actually cut out with the tankers, and now Yowei's like, oh, where do I go, guys? I'm stuck. There's nothing I can do. He's going to have to now TP to the tower, but now they know he's stuck here.
It's a rough one, that's for sure. And as well, Cuckoo gets the pull off. He's going to be able to get that farm. They've completely denied a full creep wave away from this TB.
Ken, nice score to be going to push Carl back here to simulate. Should be able to give him the distance. So a very nice attempt there with that Mars, but this is at least the nice thing that the Void Spirit has. Whenever you get dragged under the tower to simulate, just that value point is always going to give you a nice kind of disengage factor.
I wonder what Ken's going to go in terms of item builds. I feel like, yeah, Bracer's fine. Maybe just wants to stack up on the pure stats just to avoid a lot of this magic damage coming through from the Void Spirit. I think it is just that. You need to be as beefy of a frontliner as possible. Your way.
Terribly.
Chased up a little bit here. Heavenly Grace is still good for being able to save away from all of that movement speed reduction that T1 are trying to get onto him.
When you take a look at the lanes though, like Terrorblade's got 9 last hits, Slardar's got 7, Arc Warden's literally free farming, Void Spirit's having a pretty good time mid at the moment. Like, you know, we were hoping Execration, you know, they really needed to have a strong lane and continue out of this game, you know, went on, but it's not looking good at the moment as RR, he's going to TP out. The roll from Zephyr's still on cooldown. You know, maybe they're able to get the power rune away from Carl, who doesn't even have a bottle just yet, so not DD for Ken. That's going to be able to help out at least for his mid matchup.
But Cuckoo, like, of course he likes getting the last hits, but that's not his job right now. It's just to zone out Yoi as much as possible. He's got onto his level 3, so that's going to be nice to be able to potentially transition through the jungle with those conjure images, but you don't want to be popping meta in the jungle. You know, that needs to be used for the laning stage, and they're just giving him no lane to play with. Nice little pull being able to get through there from RR though, so that's going to deny some of the experience away from Cuckoo, but just goes to show the power of this Pos 3 Viper as well. He's just using the left click on the poison attack, making sure the tower's not drawing any aggro onto him. They're trying to get the turnaround, and here come the TPs.
Well, BDZ is going to be able to get there in time. He's got the telekinesis drag back. Yowei trying to get in range, but where's the extra control, Cuckoo? No boots at the moment, but it looks like it doesn't matter, so that TP does absolutely nothing. Now they're going to be careful because Void Spirit's coming over. They're going to have the bounty soon as well, so he'll be able to get a little bit of extra health and meta to utilize. But Cuckoo and Zephyr still trying to contest this. They'll get the kill on top of the Rubik, and now on the high ground is Cuckoo, so he's going to be A-okay, but it looks like Zephyr's the target for Yowei. But again, they just a very defensive position 5 here, not really able to enable the Terrorblade to utilize that extra damage it gets in the meta early.
And he's just not farming at all. You know, his metamorphosis is gone now. You've got Zephyr, who's probably just going to walk all the way back to base alongside the Viper, get full HP. He's got the Urn of Shadows, just TP straight back out, kill him again. Or even if you don't kill him, just stop him from farming. It's just as good.
Well, it feels like this game's on Ken. This is pretty much the one lane that Execration have done relatively well in. He's got that level 6. Let's see how many plays he's going to be able to make across the map this game, because if they... yeah, they might just get ran over here with the first 4 heroes that T1 have, just making so much space for the Arc Warden, just continuing to farm. And then even then, like, you're going to have like a Void Spirit setting up, an Earth Spirit setting up, and then you're going to have a Tempest Double to eventually come through. So their pickup potential is going to be through the roof here from T1 as the game continues on. And they might just be able to shrink the map as... well, you're going to have to really try and do something, otherwise this game is going to continue getting difficult.
Dire are are scanning.
Harass just
Jump
coming
up.
straight onto him. Oh,
They do find the arc here, but with Lich coming over, it's going to force the rest of Execration back. They were trying to get a bit aggressive there, but won't be able to.
able to just throw out that Tempest double. They've got the Flux available as well if they were wanting to put a bit more harass in on. Wave's pushing all the way in though, so Rapido, he's going to be able to at least get some experience from here. He's level 5, so not having a horrible time, but when you compare that to the Arc Warden already hitting up onto his level 6, he's got the Midas coming in about 400 gold. It's not the situation you want to be in.
Zephyr is just so annoying.
You mentioned the fact that his lane's the only one going kind of okay, but he's just being constantly harassed out by Carl.
Yeah, Carl's doing a good job at being able to just constantly bring Ken down to low so he doesn't have a threat of being able to burst down the Void Spirit. And he needs to just a little bit of extra bit of help in top lane. Yeah, I mean, the Omni's going to give you a little bit of help with the Purification, but it's not enough as they're going to be able to find that kill up top on the Terrorblade. So that's so important. We're probably going to see Terrorblade go farm the jungle, but they're mid. Spear with the arena committed. They're going to be able to get the follow-up on BDZ. Okay, that's a big target for them, finding the Void Spirit.
Very nicely done. And now Ken just immediately starting to put some pressure onto the tower. I mean, he's just looking to chip it down a little bit so that when the TB does eventually have enough farm to make a rotation, he's going to get a decent amount done. Or he could just be trying to bait out some kind of rotation to relieve some of the pressure on these side lanes. But T1 not falling for the bait. They're fine just to, you know, lose a little bit of farm underneath this tower. It should probably only be a couple creeps.
Ken might be in trouble here, actually. Zephyr trying to contest the power rune, and now as soon as the Void Spirit respawns as well, so he's able to get a bit of a return kill there. Just going to feel nice for him. Like you said, just relieving some pressure, so allows him to be as aggressive in these side lanes. And, well, yeah, we see Yoe, I mean, he's farming up the jungle, but Zephyr's well aware of this, being able to drop a deep Observe Ward. Now, Terrorblade is one of the better heroes to be able to fall back and farm the jungle at a decent rate, but they're not giving BDZ any opportunity to try and soak up some experience mid, as the duo support coming over, helping Carl with a little bit of a gank train, and another nice little kill for them.
Nicely done. Ken TP's in, cleans things up. He's trying to chase them down a little bit. They've actually scouted out some of these stacks as well that they've been able to create. So Carl just says, thank you very much. Takes that for himself. They don't have the best ways to take it. Other than, like, the ancient stack is probably not going to be achieved, and Carl just body blocks that hard camp as well. So just doing everything annoying that they can to make sure that this TB has no way to come back into the game. He's still level 5.
Oh, God.
He's like, where's my creeps? You said there were creeps.
So there was a stack, it's just gone, and I mean, mid lane, Ken, he's got a DD, so this should be a 100% a kill. At least, I mean, he's 2-1 at the moment, 59 last hits, having a good start, but down bot. Rapido, he's in trouble as, you know, Carl's starting to get pretty active here. Killing spree for him, and a very nice involvement, and the supports are getting some help as well. Some items coming out for them early is just going to be able to help their mobility across the map. And man, this Arc Warden, top of the net worth, and this is really scary for Execration, because this is not what you want. Arc's, you're not the greatest hero early on. You know, it's going to be a little bit slower as the game continues, but we do have some aggression mid though, as Ken is going up against pretty much all of T1 at the moment. RR's going to try and get involved, but he won't be able to close the distance to help out with any of the sustain.
Getting dived on as well.
Again, yeah, and Carl's even got a haste to be able to continue with the dive here. They even find Terrorblade on the high ground if they want to go for him afterwards. Looks like they just leave RR and go for Yoe instead. He doesn't have a point in the sun though. He goes for the maximize in the metamorphosis and the images that really trying to enable him to find the farm. And I mean, if this is a game where you've got to pick up a point in your ultimate at level 6, then yeah, it just shows how rough it is. It's such a bad ability for you at that stage because of how poor of a laning stage he had. He just needs to find as much farm as he can, and I mean, T1 giving him no room at all.
Yeah, there's nothing he can do. Like, he made that rotation through the tri-camp area. He didn't see the hard camp, so well, now he's going to have the metamorphosis to try and make something happen here, and he should pop it on this ancient camp. I wonder if there's going to be any sort of scouts, but it looks like they're all committed onto the top side of the map. They just want to take this tier 1 tower, and that's totally fine. You've reached the point where the Arc Warden can start doing the push on his own, surrounded by the rest of his team, and then just have his Tempest double doing Tempest double things.
Almost got that Maelstrom completed as well, but And what is the Mars going for next? Okay, so he's going to commit for a blink. At least it's going to give them a way to be able to initiate. Even Slardar's going for a blink next as well. So maybe if they can stall this out, get those blinks. I mean, you're not going to have the damage from the Terrorblade, so it's going to have to come through from somewhere else. But even Radiant want to try and defend their bottom tower as well, giving them no room to find some objectives. RR's in a decent positioning here. It's going to disrupt the combo, but they don't have extra help. They're coming through at least a little bit later here, but the Slardar's going to be able to scurry away that maxed out sprint. He's actually coming back forward, but they haven't seen the rest of the rotations. Just the Lich down here at the moment.
He's just finished up farming that tri-camp area on the TB. No Metamorphosis, but with the rest of his team, he's feeling confident enough. I just wonder if that's going to be a little bit misplaced, given that Whitemon, he's got his level 6 now, just sitting underneath the tower experience range. He wants to be able to turn around if they make a deep dive onto him.
Slardar, nice cut through
from him.
If they can find him,
the Jukes.
Jackie's going to show up as well with the Tempest double here, but
they know he's there. They found
Slardar's going to get caught out here. Let's see if he can cut through the trees, or do they even want to try and attempt the dive? RR's going to try and get involved. Nice silence prevents the Omni Knight from getting the help out to save the Slardar. And they even get the Chain Frost connecting on top of RR on top of the backline, so the Omni Knight won't be able to treat somehow. They're still alive, and now with the Chain Frost as well, can it bounce back? He tries to chuck him straight on top of the creeps to enable the Chain Frost. Beautifully played actually there from the Rubik. No one dies on Execration. The position from RR disrupting them from being able to kill off the Slardar, and well, we see the Rubik help out there.
Yeah, some good players coming through. Yoe, well, they weren't able to take the tower, so I suppose it's a little bit of a victory for T1, considering Jackie was just farming up these big stacks in the meantime. And like you mentioned, he's just got the Maelstrom coming out to him now, so he's going to look to burst those down. And yeah, Whitemon doing his job, but he didn't quite have the mana to cast something else after that to prevent the steal of the Chain Frost.
Well, we do have the blink now completed for Ken, so this is going to be a pretty big item for them to help initiate. Let's see if they're going to be able to get a perfect reveal out of it, though, as Radiant, they're still trying to maybe bait Carl down bot and continue defending the tower. Maybe smoke they do, right? They're going to smoke up. Slardar showing at the moment he does have some heroes in the backline, so they're going to be careful if they commit for the Slardar. They're even going to, I mean, Ken and Yoe just reveal themselves as well, so they're well aware of the positioning. They got the Viper that can show up, even the Tempest double from the Arc Warden. It's actually down at the moment for 20 seconds, but Cuckoo's coming in to take this fight if it does break out. And they're dipping out. Terrorblade wants none of this as well. Slardar tries to run through the river. Needs the Omni Knight to get in range. On the high ground. Can he get there in time? No, the Heavenly Grace not going to be fast enough. Now Zephyr's going to try and punish this. Ken's coming over. He's got this blink. They're going to be careful of the positioning. Oh, the Iron Wood doesn't find the connection.
Chain Frost is back up, though. So they might be looking to try and make a play when the Slardar's back online. But yeah, here we go. Smoke coming out. Who are they going to try and find? Arc Warden would be main priority, but Jackie knows well enough. He's just going to be nowhere near harm's way.
And now this T1 tower is going to take a little bit of damage as well. They did see Carl coming through top.
Atos on Cuckoo as well, so a lot more pickup potential too.
The control as well is just going to make it so difficult. This Slardar, I mean, you do have the Omni Knight, nice position from Cuckoo. Going to find BDZ. They just see him rolling up, so Zephyr's going to try and chase Atos through. They get the silence, and Rubik is ultra dead. Instantly, you see that the Mars is just like, all right, brother, you can be the sacrificial lamb, just let me survive. He'll try and get some creeps, a little bit of gold before he does take away some extra farming potential that Radiant can get, but you know, you are allowing the Terrorblade to find farm. The issue is still, you can't really keep up with the Arc Warden Midas, though.
Very difficult. Like, the dream scenario is TB's allowed to get his farm, he gets to be decently big, and then eventually Mars is going to, hopefully, if my fantasies are correct,
they want to turn it, Ken. Blink's on cooldown at the moment. They're coming over. RR's going to be able to keep the Slardar alive. Even Yoe's going to show up as well with the Metamorphosis here. They chuck up the GA. Repeater's still going to end up dropping to the magic damage. Spears off the mark as well. Cuckoo just dancing around inside the arena. Now the Terrorblade's stuck inside the river. They get the roll forward. The chain lockdown. Beautifully played. 2 down from Execration. They're not done. Roll in. Zephyr on the Earth Spirit. There was a reason he's your background. We're seeing so many plays come through at the moment from him, and they're not done. Carl's going to want to try and punish this. Ken caught out. We'll set him up. RR might be able to get a defensive factor, but it looks like they don't have any turn potential, though. Just maybe hoping to keep the life of the Mars, but it won't have been enough. Although Whitemon falling very low. BDZ, can he get a kill? He rolls in, get one for the fade, but the tower would do it. but still the Rubik falls, and even they show RR as well. He's gonna face check that. They want to dive underneath the tier 2. It looks like they don't, but I mean, they got a big kill on the Terrorblade there. Someone who, you know, hadn't died in a while, was finding a little bit of farm in the jungle, but showed up, pop meta, and got absolutely nothing out of it.
Level 9 TB against a level 14 Arc Warden, by the way.
Yeah.
16.5 minutes in.
No bueno.
Yeah, does not feel good. And, well, okay, he's reached level 10 now, so, you know, clap.
He's clapped.
Yeah, it's going to be quite difficult for them to come back from this. The dream scenario that I was thinking about is being up against a ranged core and having this Mars. Of course, the bulwark's going to be good, just to be able to redirect all of your attacks to you. But it means that as the mid laner, you're not doing any damage yourself. Same sort of thing with the Arena of Blood. You toss it out, and it's just highly dependent on your spears being on point. But if eventually you are able to go into, you know, getting tanky enough, BKB is a good way to do it. I'm liking this build. And then get the Ag Scepter. If TB has an okay amount of farm...
They're going to try and burst through the Void Spirit here, but Radiant, can they counter-initiate? Zephyr's going to roll forward. They do claim the kill on Carl. Zephyr's in trouble as well. RR's doing a nice job with the Omni Knight to keep them a little bit alive, but look at the Chain Frost go to work. Ken and Slaughter just take the full brunt to the force. It's a 2 for 2, which honestly, at this stage, you're going to take for Execration, but man, oh man, that Chain Frost did so much work there. 2,400 damage. For Whitemon's Lich.
He's been the MVP for me all throughout this, honestly, the playoffs, not even just the this particular series. And well, deaths like that lean further away from this ideal scenario that I'm envisaging from Execration. Like, you can't sacrifice the damage to purely put everything onto the TB.
And this is still like, Arc Warden's gonna get to, oh my god, he's got that new item. He went for it. Interesting.
Ooh, the Gleipnir.
Gleipnir. Alright, that's how we're going to try and pronounce it. Gleipnir. I mean, this is... It doesn't give you that attack speed, which is the one interesting thing. The stats are a lot better. Who do they find in the river? Okay, Cuckoo's going to get caught out. There's no other Radiant heroes nearby here, so Viper trying to link down bottom with the rest of the team. Maybe trying to attempt a catch on the Terrorblade there, but they will not be successful at doing so.
I wonder if he's ever just going to use the Gleipnir to farm it sounds so stupid. To farm a creep wave, right? Like, it's within a 450 radius. That is a big area.
Cost rate is pretty decent as well.
Zap.
I mean, I wonder if this is just him trying to see how it's really going to feel with the Arc Warden. Like, again, it's not giving you that attack speed. I mean, you've got the Agi, it's going to give you a little bit. It's only 12. The stats are nice. The root as well to kind of help control, which is the different factor. But the Mjolnir active can also help out a little bit more if you have ways that you're worried without being able to deal with the Terrorblade illusions. But I mean, what do we got at the moment here? A 5,000 lead for tier 1. It's about to be 20 minutes in, so yeah, we do have... Okay, actually, hang on a second. Jackie might get caught out here. Smoke's gonna pop. They don't get the information, and Radiant, they've got the ward on the high gun, so they're going to scout them out. Repeater's going to try and blink forward, but can they get a range? This is a big pickup. They can find him. Dire, can they counteract? However, straight on top, they get the double Sans, but the Arc Warden's already ended up dropping, but looking to go to work. Once again, the Terrorblade's going to try and show up. They got rid of the Chain Frost here, Whitemon. On top of the rib of the Frost Shield's going to at least give him some protection, but it doesn't matter. The rest of the Radiant try to retreat away. Even Cuckoo's going to get caught out as well. Okay, Execration, I see you. 3 kills, that's a big one as well, finding the Arc Warden.
For sure, it just turns everything around. How much? Was that a decent amount of gold as well? Yep, 433 or 43 going towards the Rubik. Gonna be really handy for him. He's not gonna venture too far away. How long have they got left on
They got the vision now on Carl. Oh, to simulate up underneath an observe ward.
They gotta make the decision. I mean, you've got the Slardar here, and you've got what,
taking too long.
15 seconds left on the meta.
Has it actually?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, them going for that kill on the Void Spirit. Just wasting a little bit of extra time, and well, at least you take a big fight there. Like, you get the Arc Warden, who was flawless so far this game. He also had a massive Pidus, so wasn't able to utilize the farming speed, obviously with that being on cooldown. But well, Terrorblade second in net worth. What's he got? Manta, Dragonlance. He's going for the MKB as his next item as well.
Okay. You can get 2 Gleipnirs off as well. I'm just gonna laugh every time I have to say that word. In each team fight. Or, sorry, in each Tempest double spawn. So that's gonna be pretty handy. You know, TP it straight in, use it immediately, and then use it right before the double expires.
Well, I guess this is the one nice thing about Execration, where they have a much easier time with being able to take Roshan with the Slaughter. And I mean, he's got that level 12, so the Corrosive Haze now 15 minus armor. You know, TB is always one of the better ways to deal with it. So Radiant always have to kind of keep tabs on this. I don't imagine Execration are really going to be able to sneak it with how aware T1 will be. Like, that's the only way I can see Execration really coming back. Unless they win another big fight, and they might have to now, although they don't have meta, unfortunately. Radiant, they are smoked up.
They're going to have to be careful. Perhaps play a tiny bit passively here on Execration, at least until this BKB gets to Ken. It's just arrived, so he's going to be ready to fight now. Immediately the smoke comes out. They're keen to try and turn things around.
Oh god, if they get jump right now. Alright, they're right. I was a bit worried that Radiant were going to stick on the high ground. We haven't really seen them get many Tempest double kills as well, so their net worth isn't there. Carl's gonna get jumped. Can they chain lock him down though? Ken's gonna have to fall up as well. It looks like the rest of Radiant need to disengage. Well, that's the pickup potentially into Roche. Ken's even got a double damage rune as well. Alright, Execration. See if they can claim it though.
It's
Radiant.
doable.
Yeah, they got the meta available. Radiant's gonna scout this one out. But Roche is falling low. They're going to try and buy back. So now the arena's on cooldown, and they're going to stick around those. Zephyr with the roll forward doesn't find the connection, but instant telekinesis, they're going to be able to bring him down. Nicely done, but there we go. Look at the root coming through on top of the backline, holding 4. RR's falling low. The procs, not enough. He pops the G8. They need to sustain up. Can they go back in? But they committed the meta. They have to smoke up and get more. That ward of the backline from Radiant might have just gave them a little bit of vision. The scan connects as well. Oh, Cuckoo in the river, instantly jumping him. That's a big kill if they're going to be able to bring him down. The Maneki field, they need to get straight on top. And now with the chain frost in the choke point. Look at it go to work. He pops the BKB, but now with the Viper strike. Turtle needs to get the Sunder off. The next time's going to be able to get it. But now it's just hitting on top of the Tempest double. Once again, rooted. Look at the damage. Terribly might end up falling. 2 more right clicks is enough. It is. They bring him down. Execration. Looking like they're able to take a successful fight, but walking up the high ground into the chain frost. Zephyr's back alive, catches Rubik on the backline. Jackie gets a double, and T1, they'll hit back. Full 5-man wipe as Execration down in the grave here.
They're looking to go and take away that Roche. So effective if you're able to pick this one off against a Slardar lineup. All that minus armor, just a big part of why it's so successful, being able to push in onto the high ground with the extra life, suddenly taken away by a single lost team fight right in front of the pit.
Age is now picked up on Carl, yeah. I mean,
as Roshan loses his Santa hat, you gotta feel bad for him.
At least he's got the festivities, but unfortunately it's... I mean, man, that Gleipnir in those fights, whew, so much damage to control
like
as well.
The Radiance is too big.
Yeah, oh, no doubt. It's gigantic. And the range you can use it from as well. Whew. Yeah, I'm loving to see it at the moment. And I mean, Jackie's now got a 10-second BKB. You know, it's getting even more difficult to find. It's now actually going to get really difficult to bring him down. And Cuckoo's almost got a blade mail. So heavily committing on top of the Viper is going to be a lot more difficult. So I mean, Execration, what we're starting to gain a little bit of momentum, winning a couple back-to-back team fights, unfortunately giving that last one up, and you know the big one was losing Roshan as well. But they're going to jump forward. They find Whitemon, utilizing that Observe Ward. They even find Cuckoo as well. They want to try and catch him, but his Spidey sense is tingling. He's going to dip out once his support gets caught there.
They've given themselves a chance, though. You know, this TB, he's coming back in. Surprisingly enough, the win probability is pretty damn even.
Oh, yeah.
Despite how the laning stage is gone.
It was in Execration's favor almost for a little bit.
With an Arc Warden with like 7k net worth advantage. Tempest Double nearly just soloed Yoe, by the way.
I mean, he's got Manta Dragonlance, so a little bit of stats. The MKB is going to give him a lot of damage, though. Oh, top, they're setting up on Zephyr. Ken. drops the arena, but Zephyr just gets the roll out. Now with the glyph, they're actually going to come back forward. Zephyr's going to counter up, and Cuckoo's showing up as well. Sans prevents the counter up. It's on top of the Omni Knight, and look at the glyph here. Controlling two. They
What
get
is
the
that
fourth as
range?
well. Ken pops the BKB. Raputo is going to try and Guardian sprint away. Ken has to try and TP out with the Protector in the Magic community, but it looks like, unfortunately, Rupido, he doesn't have that same factor there as, man, the range of the Gleipnir is nuts.
Alright, how much does this item cost?
That's a lot.
6,150. Okay, it's a heavy investment. But man, on something like an Arc Warden where you just have two, that's just a little excessive.
The positioning from the Mars might be in trouble here. BTS, he stole the Frost Shield, but it just doesn't matter. There's so much magic damage, and they dropped that Nether Toxin as well. Just getting rid of the passive there. Bulwark, not much of an effect. Now Carl's going to deal with the backline as well. Finds the Rubik, sets up for the roll, doesn't get the stun connection, but they're just able to dive, forcing out to buybacks here. Yoa's going to try and wrap around. They're going to be careful how deep they do go. Zephyr will pay the price, but I mean, this is the Metamorphosis committed here. So Radiant, they're just able to get the lanes shoved out. They even get that tier 3 tower, and I mean, they can reset and go back in knowing the meta's down.
Still having the Aegis as well, by the way, for another 2 and a bit minutes. Even Carl making those deep dives basically on top of the fountain. He's still perfectly healthy. Going into... What is he getting there? The Sanj and Kaya? Something a little bit different. Just wanting some more of that status resistance, I suppose. And Kaya, as always, very effective for all these heroes that rely heavily on the magic damage. Great against the TB to be able to quickly burst through those illusions, not leaving everything for the Lich to do with the Chain Frost.
Well, this one's it's getting pretty difficult right now. The Arc Warden is continuing to find so much farm. He's even got an enchanted quiver as well with that tier 3 neutral. We've got any of the new ones. Elven Tunic. Okay, Slaughter's got that. Attack speed, evasion, some movement speed. Spider legs as well. That's going to be pretty nice with the positioning. Radiant, they got a new
Ceremonial
one.
robe.
Yeah.
It's going to be nice. We haven't seen any of the mini Radiants just yet. It's like burning tunic or something.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Cloak of Flames. 45 damage per second, plus 10% magic resistance, plus 5 armor for a 400 radius. That seems a little busted for me for a tier 3 item.
Dire's top
So they're going to enable some of the heroes that can't farm to be able to get a little bit of gold as well. I guess it's 27 minutes in though, so if it was a little bit early, it'd be nice on some of the heroes that weren't able to find the net worth. But Dire can't even think about defending this top racks knowing that the meta's on cooldown. I mean, they really need this Terrorblade BKB because there is a lot of magic damage that's coming through from T1, and they've got at least T2 towers down mid and bot. So they're just like, all right, guys, you know, let's hope Radiant dive too far inside the base when we got BKB. We know we can't fight into the Aegis, which is about to tick out here in the next 10 seconds.
Yeah, have to be careful.
But
Carl was pinging the racks and saying, guys, take it. And I'm sure the conversation was, what the hell, man? You've got the Aegis. What are you telling us to go in for?
They're even going to smoke up. They don't actually care about the Aegis ticking out. They still want to get pretty aggressive here. They're hunting. Rapido's in a relatively good spot by his Observe Ward if he can pop this through the nighttime fog.
He's nearly got his BKB as well, only about 400 gold away, so that's going to be relatively major for him. But Yahweh, he's still quite a bit short. I'd say at least 1,000.
And this is now getting to the stage where you see they're running out as 5. And just unfortunately, I mean, they're not going to get any outposts, might not even get any bounties as well, as if they get to top fast enough.
Zephyr's gone way deep, just rolling in onto that high ground.
Arc just picked up an MKB as well, and he's almost finished the Hurricane Pike. So he is just continuing to find item after item. They find RR and Yowei. They're going to be really careful with their positioning right now. Like, they are giving him absolutely no room to find this BKB. You see, it's just going to continue to be a slow one for him. Just completed now. But it's... How close is the starter? That's a big thing. If they can get the double BKB timing, maybe they can think about taking a fight here, because they've got meta back available, but they need a choke point and they need some vision. Radiant, they're the ones in the choke point. Manta, Yowie gets out of the ATOS there. They've used it pretty early though, so they're going to be careful they commit on the back. Carl's even popped that haste, so it looks like they're ramping up for a potential engagement. Carl also just got that level 20, but they're going to smoke up all the way with the wraparound. You need the Terrorblade to kind of follow up here. A lot of their damage. Carl's showing being with the back. They're fine. Cuckoo pops the BKB. They get the spear as well. Metamorphosis going to get popped, but the Cuckoo out of the arena is going to try and turn. The damage is still there, but brings down the Omni Knights. A lot of their sustained right now. Carl still holding his life. Yowie is going to be able to get the Sunder, but they haven't found the real Arc Warden. So Jackie on top of the backline is going to be able to go to work, but the BKB pop straight on top of him. Sunder's on cooldown though, so Yowie won't be able to do anything. Jackie on the Arc Warden finds a double. Rapido's going to get caught out as well. A triple for your Arc. And I mean, this is a game where they don't really have the ways to find the Arc Warden on top of the backline. Ken's even trouble as well. Look at him go. They're going to have another Gleipnir up in a couple of seconds, but that's Mars down 100 seconds on the deck, and
Dire's middle tower
it's
is under attack.
going on a Viper there. It's not easy. He's goddamn tanky, and it just wasted so much time, and using all your committal to bring down Cuckoo just heavily enables Jackie to go to work.
I gotta pick up this item, this Gleipnir. I wonder if it's Gleipnir, Gleipnir.
I don't know. I was honestly just waiting for you to pronounce it, and then I was going to follow you, because that's a hell of a word.
Well, I feel like, I guess none of the units would have voice lines, right? Saying, you know, how they say like Blink Dagger and stuff like that. They wouldn't be able to say Gleipnir. You know, it sounds so weird.
Oh, we'll be the first ones, and I mean, it's such a wonky pronunciation as well, so well, we'll find out eventually. We'll keep going with Gleipnir. That's good enough. Everyone's at least understanding what we're talking about, and well, everyone's got a pretty good understanding of T1's positioning this game. 17,000 net worth lead, and how they've been playing this second game is very methodical, making sure they do not give an inch to Execration to throw this and force a game 3. It's still 88% probability, which I'm still incredibly surprised the fact that it's not in the 90s right now. It's getting close, but it's, you know, at least Dota Plus giving Execration some hope to come back.
It's a stretch, and it's only going to get harder and harder as that BKB starts to get lower for the TB.
Arc Warden's level 25. He's even 25 and like 2/3 here. Jesus Christ. Have we got any shards? I haven't noticed that so far.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm just doing a scan, making sure. No shard. Come on, guys. 16,000 advantage. Surely someone picks a shard.
I mean...
Oh, alright. We're going to see a new blink. The Arcane blink for the Arc Warden. Interesting. So here's, what's it? It reduces the cast point. I think it's got a cooldown as well, if I remember correct. The cooldown reduction?
Yeah, cooldown reduction as well. I want to say 20%, but that would be a guess.
Let's take a look. Blink.
25% ability cooldown reduction for 6 seconds. And reduces cast point by half.
Jesus, that Gleipnir from downtown just gonna be.
And now that he's hit his level 25 as well, he's got the Tempest double duration reduced. I mean, they've just taken away another Aegis from them.
Zephyr.
So
look at his warding position. Oh, they're gonna find it, but he gets the silence. Now the telekinesis. Yowie pops the meta, but now with the silence on top of the backline. Beautiful initiation for the Void Spirit. They try and commit the magic immunity, but is it gonna be enough? The arena, it doesn't trap in anyone, so it looks like Execration. They just have to disengage with the protection of the magic immunity, but Yowie, he's in trouble. He's already popped that BKB. The Mantra as well. It's not gonna matter. Can he get the Sunder off?
Oh, the Lotus!
Oh, God! No buyback for Terrorblade, and that might be all she wrote. Cuckoo drops the voice lines, and oh, even the tip as well. Don't do it to him. The BM Cuckoo. Oh, they're not done.
They both had the voice line, the Lotus, both Carl as well as Cuckoo, so there was no way he was going to be able to get out of that. It's just the Aegis, it's fine.
They've got Crush up pretty soon. Is it going to be fast enough? Can he get a bash? Nice silence instantly now with it simulate. He's A-okay, so I mean, he loses the Aegis there, but and the rest of the team trying to shove it in. Okay, here we go. So Jackie's got that new blink that we're going to see for the first time. Unfortunately, it's already so far late into the game.
That's actually so disgusting. So he uses it right before he uses the Tempest double?
Oh, yeah. Oof. That's... This item's stupid. What the hell? 38 duration Tempest double with a 26 cooldown.
Yep.
What? What? Ozfrog.
He misused it there. He got the full cooldown on that one. 35 seconds instead of the 26.
Oh, wait, hang on. Mars has got the shard. Okay, not that it's really gonna do much, but I just see some flames on the ground. I'm a little bit excited. At least we get something new, but man, it's spark race galore right now. It's, you know, I guess what, has Rubik got his own? No, he's got the magnetic field, so it's making it a little bit difficult for them to try and siege. Jackie's got that, the help with the items, but
Lich has it too. He's got an ice spire ready.
oh, this is gonna be cool. Okay. Won't die. They pop the glyph. They're going to go in, but where's the help of Rapido? Instant Lotus Orb. Ken's going to fall up as well. They find the real arc. This is a perfect target here, but Yahweh is falling low, and he doesn't have the metamorph as well. They're going to pop the G, but the bash comes out. Arc Water. He doesn't have a buyback here. They're actually going to be pretty careful. Cuckoo's falling low as well, but the Terrorblade does get the
Chain Frost.
He does. Now with the Chain Frost bouncing back and forth with the Cinder Gaze. Terrorblade's going to fall. It's going to buy back with the roll on top of the backline here. Execration, they've lost 3. Make it 4. They do get the Arc Warden and also the Viper, but the price to pay a full set of racks mid and 4 heroes for them as well. They want to try and hold the Terrorblade buyback, but I mean, this game, 27,000 net worth lead, and it's, what's the probability now? Yeah, now it's jumping up pretty high, 96%. Carl's back in once again.
So, would you agree with me in saying that the Arc Warden, the real one, got basically immediately popped in that fight?
Yeah.
He did 8,000 damage in that fight. The next closest on his team was 2,000. And that is purely from his Tempest double.
Jesus.
With the Gleipnir, with the Arcane Blink, by the way, reducing the cooldown of Gleipnir even further. And he's got the Tempest double, which lasts 38 seconds. So that's like, what, 3-4 casts of huge range, 220 damage with a 2-second root. Seems good, OS Frog.
Zephyr's even got an Agnums as well, so we're seeing Chant Remnant, which I don't think they did any works to. So it's still just the same old like it was previously before the patch.
Nah, it's just the shard.
Yeah.
That gives a little bit of vision. Might be nice, but realistically, they know exactly where Execration are, so not really going to be hugely beneficial. And they just TP Jackie right back on in. The real one's staying way behind. He's like, look, there's no way you're going to be able to kill me off if I'm all the way back here.
Alright, I'm a big fan of this ward that Execration plays. They know they have to defend this high ground. This last set, that lane ward pretty deep in before tier 1 have got set up is at least going to probably see out of the position of the Arc Warden. You know, maybe if he's just hiding in the trees, which might be a little bit better positioning because you can always Hurricane Pike out if you really want to use it like that, but
you're going to be able to get behind though.
Yeah, that's the issue. Like, you see how Cuckoo's positioning Whitemon as well, just in case they go for a full wraparound. What do we got? I mean, they're going to smoke up. They'll attempt it. It's getting shoved in though, which is the only issue. So someone's going to have to deal with it, otherwise it's going to be pretty obvious. Scan? Yeah, it does connect. I mean,
they have to know.
They're just so aware.
They're looking over that way. Carl's like, well,
Carl's
try
hunting.
and find me.
Yeah. At least Ken's going to try and cut mid a little bit, but it leaves them out of the bottom side of the map. So Jackie might be able to get the tier 3 tower with this Tempest double. Won't be able to, but Carl's actually going to jump forward, maybe forcing out a couple abilities here from Execration. The overzealous defense here to try and keep them alive, but once again, this Tempest double has such a short cooldown thanks to that fresh blink with the Arcane. Yeah, the good old Arcane blink there, OS Frog.
BDZ's got the magnetic field.
Terrorblade, he might just get brought down. The Silence pops the BKB. They're going to try and initiate
the Lotus again.
The Lotus. Carl, once again, is going to be careful. The Astral Scepter, they find Jackie with the BKB pop. The Uranus not going to protect him now. They're going to be careful because the Thunder's on cooldown. Yowei, he does have the BKB as well. Look at them tick out to the Magic Chain Frost. Magnetize, bouncing back and forth, and that might just be it. Zephyr
kicks the stone
Yowei
back.
in the stone, kicks him out. They kick him out of the game as Execration will be the 4th team eliminated for the BTS Pro Series Season 4 at Tier 1. They're going to move on and face Fnatic now in the lower bracket round 3.
I told you these guys like to do some innovative things, you know,
Yeah.
show out what's a little bit busted in the patch, and well, Tidehunter and Arc Warden turns out they're pretty damn good when paired together with some of these new neutral items and the Ag Shard. But some really great play coming all throughout. You know, Cuckoo and Zephyr made Yoe's life a living hell in his lane. He didn't get any farm. They stole away his stacks at his tri-camp. And even White One just making some perfect plays to come out and get some key chain frosts. Multiple fights, actually. And yeah, it was just clinical from T1. There wasn't too many mistakes that they made. Nice rotations to try and come back into things. Getting that pick off onto the Arc Warden was super nice. But yeah, I think with this Slardar lineup, unless you're taking Roche, it's probably going to be a lost draft for you.
Yeah, and I think we both agreed that this was going to be a pretty difficult draft here for Execration to be able to execute. You know, they had to make very, very minimal mistakes, and unfortunately, just the laning stage that they had. I mean, Arc Warden got way too much out of it. You know, the Lich was doing such a good job at the early levels to allow the Arc to have a free time. I mean, Slardar against two range heroes never going to feel too nice. And then we also see that, you know, the Terrorblade Omni Knight, it's just a lane that's not really going to work out in favor of and against the Viper and the Earth Spirit. Like, Omni pretty defensive, Terrorblade, you want to kind of find those kills when the meta is available. And then, you know, T1 did a very good job at pulling that wave, dragging away, wasting that first metamorphosis, and then as soon as it was over, they just put so much pressure on. And mid was the nice factor for Execration, but unfortunately we couldn't really see Ken kind of offset the other lanes that didn't really go in their favor. So unfortunately, we're going to say bye to two more teams. Motivate, Trust, and Execration are going to be eliminated tonight, which leaves 4 teams remaining. TNC, Team Dog are going to be playing in your upper bracket finals, and then Fnatic versus T1 in the lower bracket round 3. So I don't think anyone would really be too surprised. These are all the teams that finished in the upper bracket. So they finish in the top of the groups, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, you know, I don't think a lot of people would be surprised. And I mean, I'm excited to see how the rest of the playoffs are going to end up faring, especially with this patch as well.
Yes, me too. Top 4, very worthy.